Have you ever regretted not saying, "I love you," while you still had the chance? If the answer is yes, you know exactly what this video is about. But if you haven't experienced that yet, I invite you to stay until the end, because maybe this video is life's last silent warning. Before it takes away what you don't even realize is precious today, we only learn to appreciate when we lose. But does it have to be that way? Today, I want to show you it doesn't, that there's still time to look differently, to feel more deeply, to value what's already by your side, before it turns into longing. This video is for you who've seen so much in life, but maybe still haven't learned the most important thing, that today's simplicity could be tomorrow's painful absence. So listen with your heart, because by the end of this conversation, you'll realize that life's true wealth isn't in what you achieve, but in what you recognize before it disappears. Shall we go together? Time doesn't stop, but wisdom can help you live better. Now, the invisible value of everyday life. Have you ever truly stopped to observe what surrounds you every day? Not with the hurried eyes of someone who has 1,000 things to do, but with a calm, attentive gaze, the kind that notices the hidden preciousness in routine. It's curious how the most important things in life don't make noise. They don't shout. They don't demand attention. They're just there, silent, discreet, almost shy. A cup of coffee placed on the table by someone who knows you. A good morning, said without thought, but full of presence. The clean towel folded in the bathroom. The light left on in the hallway at night, just to make you feel at ease. These small, everyday actions, so automatic, so subtle, are actually constant expressions of care, love, and connection. And precisely because they're always there, we stop seeing them. What was special blends into the ordinary. The extraordinary disguises itself as mundane. We get used to it. And that's the danger. When we get used to things, we stop valuing them. We start seeing everything through a gray filter, as if it were the other person's obligation to be there, as if it were normal to have someone to share life with. And that's where the risk lies, because routine hides miracles. The simple fact of waking up to someone on the other side of the house, the sound of a laugh that's become part of your life soundtrack, the way that person serves your favorite food without asking. It all seems small, but only seems that way because deep down, these are the details that hold life together. And when one of them disappears, the absence screams loudly. But sometimes it screams too late. Many people only realize they were happy after losing what they had. They miss what they ignored. They cry over a hug they refused. They grieve a phone call they never made. And the most painful part, they understand too late that love lives in repeated gestures, that routine was a gift, that shared silence was the greatest form of presence. That's why today, here, now, I invite you to do things differently. Don't wait for life to take something from you before you finally see its worth. Look around with tenderness, with intention. See who's by your side. Pay attention to the details. Value the person who still asks if you slept well, who cares whether you ate, who remembers your favorite show, or how you like your coffee. Everyday life isn't a punishment, as many think. Everyday life is a privilege. It's where life truly happens. It's where affection grows. It's where memories are built, not in grand events, but in day after day, in repeating with love, in being present even without celebration, even without grand words. If you still have the chance to share this routine with someone, be grateful, appreciate it, show it, because tomorrow, that coffee cup might be empty. That voice that said, "Good morning," might go silent. That constant presence might become longing. And when that happens, because inevitably, one day, what will remain is either the certainty that you lived with gratitude, or the weight of knowing you ignored what was most precious. The choice is yours. And it starts today. With a more attentive gaze, with a more present heart, because sometimes All the everyday wants is to be recognized as the silent home of the love you've always had. The silence of parents. Have you ever noticed how, as the years go by, our parents grow quieter? They speak less, demand less, ask for less, but that doesn't mean they feel less. Quite the opposite. What happens is that life and pain teaches. Then they won't always be heard, so they retreat. They hold back their words, their advice, their desires. They start observing more than participating. They're still there, but in a quieter, more restrained way. And sadly, this is exactly where many people get lost, mistaking their parents' silence for indifference, when in reality, it's love in the form of waiting. They wait for a phone call, for an unexpected visit, for a tight hug. They wait, but they don't demand, because they know their children's time always seems short, always rushed. But the truth is, that father who once carried you in his arms just wants to hear your voice for 2 minutes now. That mother who stayed up nights waiting for you to come home now just waits for a small gesture of affection. A simple, "How are you, Mom?" And the saddest part, often we only realize all of this when it's too late. How many people look up at the sky every day, longing for the words they never said, wishing they could turn back time just to do things differently. A phone call never made, a visit postponed, an "I love you" left unspoken. And when you finally feel their absence, it comes heavy, sharp, bringing with it an avalanche of regret. Because parents aren't eternal, and no matter how much we believe they'll always be there, the truth is their lives are finite and fragile. Sometimes we forget that until the clock stops. And then all the unspoken words echo in your chest like a muffled scream. But there's still time. If your parents are still here, even if silent, even if distant, go to them. Don't wait for a special occasion. Don't wait for Christmas, a birthday, Mother's Day, or Father's Day. Create the moment yourself. Hug them, listen, ask. Because what they want most, even if they don't say it, is to feel they still matter in your life. That you still care. That the bond is still there, strong, despite the years, the changes, the different routines. If you've already lost your parents, you know the value of that time. You know how every memory becomes a treasure. And maybe, through your pain, you can help others avoid making the same mistake. To not let pride, busyness, or carelessness push away those who are always there, even in silence. Valuing your parents isn't about expensive gifts, it's about giving presents. It's listening to the same stories over and over with the same tenderness, knowing that one day they won't be told again. It's understanding that the advice you once found annoying was protection, that the overbearing concern was love, and that the silence was longing disguised as patience. Today you have a choice to keep that silence, or to break it with a simple but powerful gesture. Call, visit, ask how they're doing. Show them, because as long as your parents are here, you still have the chance to do better. And even if time has passed, even if there have been hurts, wounds, distances, there's always room to start over. A parent's heart, even when bruised, has an infinite capacity to forgive and love again. Don't wait for silence to turn into absence. Don't wait for photographs to be all that's left. Appreciate them now. Because one day, this ordinary moment will be the most precious memory of your life. And you'll be proud you showed up not when it was convenient, but while there was still time. Routine as a refuge. We spend so much time complaining about routine, about the same thing every day, about waking up at the same time, doing the same tasks, seeing the same people, repeating the same paths. But what if I told you that this very routine that bothers you is exactly what keeps your life standing? It's strange to think that way. I know, because when we're young, we crave constant novelty. We want excitement, movement, twists and turns. But with time, especially as maturity sets in, we start to realize that Routine isn't a prison. It's a safe harbor. It's where stability lives, where balance and peace reside. You know those days when all you want is for things to go smoothly? No bad news, no major surprises, no pain? That's when routine shows its worth. Isn't loud. It isn't thrilling. But it is comforting. It's the warm blanket on the soul's cloudy days. It's food ready at the usual time. It's the familiar scent of home you'd recognize with your eyes closed. It's knowing that at 6 p.m. someone will call you to dinner like always, that the TV show starts at 8, with you sitting in your usual spot. Routine is what remains when the outside world feels like too much. It's what holds up mental health, emotional balance, and the hope that even without grand events, life still has meaning. And it's important to say, only those who've never faced real hardship complain about routine, because it's only after loss, illness, or deep crisis that you realize how much you'd give to have that routine back. To wake up and find someone waiting in the kitchen. To hear a familiar noise from the next room. To have the annoying spouse leave the towel wet where it doesn't belong. Again, things that irritate you daily, but in their absence, become what you miss most, what you long for. So here's the question: why wait until it's gone to appreciate it? Why not be grateful today for this blessed monotony, for this uneventful day, full of small miracles, for this routine that shelters you, grounds you, and gives you purpose? Routine is underrated because we've been taught to measure life by its peaks. But the truth is, happiness isn't found in the highs. It's in the steady. The consistent, the simple. To value routine is an act of wisdom. It's realizing that not every day needs to be extraordinary to be precious. And if you're lucky enough to be alive, healthy, and surrounded by a structure that keeps you safe, even if it feels monotonous, you have more than many ever will. Embrace your routine, not as something that traps you, but as something that protects you. And remember, what you call always the same today might be what you'll miss the most one day. So look at your day with new eyes. Feel gratitude for what seems ordinary, because it's right there, in the simple, the repeated, the familiar, that you'll find the peace so many spend their lives searching for, without realizing they already have it. People aren't forever. It's easy to fall into the illusion that those by your side will always be there. We wake up every day to the same voices in the house, the same gestures, the same faces, and without realizing it, we start believing this is guaranteed. But the truth, no matter how hard it is simple: people aren't eternal. They have their time, their cycle. And as painful as it is to accept, we're all just passing through. How many times have you postponed an important conversation, thinking there'd be another chance? How many times have you delayed an apology, an "I love you," a longer hug, assuming time would wait? We live as if we control tomorrow. But life offers no guarantees. It's fragile, unpredictable, and sometimes cruel in its speed. Have you ever seen someone leave suddenly? Have you ever received news that made you desperately wish for just one more day? If so, you know the weight of regret, the weight of realizing you spent too much time on things that didn't truly matter, while the ones who did were right there, waiting for a gesture. A look, a word, a moment of care. The great tragedy of our hurry is that it steals presence, and what people want most, especially as they grow older, is presence. Not presents. Not promises. Presence. Not someone who listens, who looks them in the eyes, who sits beside them, even with nothing to say. And that costs nothing, but it's worth everything. Maybe there's someone beside you right now, and you think they'll always be there. But what if they're not? What if tomorrow you wake up and they can no longer hear you? Could you live with everything left unsaid? That's why I insist. Don't wait to lose before you appreciate. Show it. Speak it. Hug. Care. Even if it seems small. Even if it seems obvious. Love never tires of being Reaffirmed. In fact, it needs it to survive. And when it comes to the elderly, this becomes even more crucial. Because so many are there, silent, waiting. Waiting for a child to call. Waiting for a grandchild to visit. Waiting for a thank you that never comes. And every day that passes without it is one less opportunity. You don't want to carry the regret of not acting, because when someone's gone, the hardest part isn't the goodbye. It's what was left unlived with them. Words unspoken. The moments ignored. The love that was felt but never shown. So today, now, while there's still time, cherish them. Stop waiting for special occasions. Life itself is special enough. Look around. See who's still with you, and understand, none of us are forever. But what we do with the time we have can be. It can be eternal in the memory of those we love. It can be eternal in the peace of those who left knowing they were loved. And it can be eternal within you as the certainty that you didn't wait to lose. Before you learn to value. The beauty that time takes. Have you ever looked in the mirror and struggled to recognize the person staring back? Time's marks are subtle at first. A wrinkle here, a gray hair there, until suddenly you realize time has passed. And it's not just your face that changes. It's your rhythm. It's your body. No longer as agile. It's your memory. Faltering now and then. It's your energy. Fading little by little. Many people, as they age, start feeling less beautiful. Less desired. Less seen. As if youth left and took their worth with it. But that's an illusion. And one of the cruelest. Because while time takes some things, it also leaves others. It takes firm skin, but leaves wisdom. Takes haste, but brings depth. Takes vanity, but offers quieter self-love. Takes physical strength, but gives an inner strength youth can't yet imagine. The beauty of youth is visible. Beauty of maturity is felt. It lives in eyes that have seen much but still choose kindness. In calm words from those who've learned shouting rarely solves anything. In silent presence that comforts more than 1,000 speeches. But to see this beauty, you must shift your gaze. Stop comparing yourself to who you were at 20. Stop fighting the mirror like it's your enemy. Start understanding. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every mark proves you've lived. Survived. Loved. Fallen and risen again. Many people do you know who left too soon? How many would give anything to reach the age you are today? So why turn what should be gratitude into pain? Taking care of yourself matters, of course, but tending to your mind, your heart, your spirit matters more, because the beauty that truly lasts isn't on the surface. It's in what time can't take away. Value who you are now, with the history you carry, the body that still serves you, the wisdom no one can steal. You aren't less because you're older, you're more aware. More whole. And if others can't see that, the flaw isn't in you, it's in their narrow vision. Still measuring worth by youth. Time does take, but it also reveals. It shows who you are when all masks fall. When applause fades. When the mirror reflects truth. And you learn to love that truth with tenderness. Today, before the mirror, don't search for what time took. Look for what it left. The serenity in your gaze, the strength in your silence, the beauty of a life well lived, because that time doesn't erase. It grows. It blooms. And only those who learn to see with the soul's eyes can truly cherish it. The overlooked small victories. How often have you caught yourself thinking your life hasn't turned out as you imagined? That you could have achieved more, done more, been more? Sometimes this thought creeps in quietly. Other times it screams inside you. The comparison to others, to past plans, to the idealized version of yourself, it weighs heavy. And what you have today, which is a lot, starts to feel like not enough. It's a dangerous trap, because it teaches us to ignore everything we've already overcome. You might not have the dream house or the money you wanted. You might not have traveled the world or hit every goal you set when you were young. But look closer. You survived pain you thought would break you. You kept going when the world seemed to collapse. You raised kids, faced illnesses, endured losses, started over more than once, and you're still here, breathing, trying, caring, living. Those are victories. Big victories. But we weren't taught to see them that way. We were taught to value trophies, diplomas, status. And because of that, we forget that keeping your head up in a world that tries to knock you down daily is already a massive win. Look around. Is there food on your table? A roof over your head? Someone who cares about you? Health to walk, to get out of bed alone, to talk, to laugh? Then you have wealth, wealth many would give anything for. And if you have peace today, even if it's quiet, even if it's a simple routine, that's also a victory. Because some people live at war with themselves, surrounded by everything money can buy, and still feel empty. It's time to shift focus. Stop judging yourself for what you haven't achieved. Start being grateful for what you have, for what you've built with your own hands, even through stumbles. Remember where you came from. The fee, sleepless nights, the hard days, the tough choices. You're the result of so much courage, even if you don't see it that way. And everything you've accomplished so far, even if no one applauds it, deserves honor. Because only you know what it took to get here. Don't downplay your journey just because it doesn't look like someone else's. Every life is unique. Every story has its pain, its beauty, its private miracles. The problem? We compare the backstage of our lives to the spotlit stage of others. And in that unfair comparison, we feel smaller, but you're not smaller. You're strong. You're a survivor. You're worthy of pride. Happiness isn't in what's missing. It's in what's already there, waiting to be noticed. In the small joys of everyday life, the warm coffee, the blanket at dusk, the message from someone who remembers you. Those are the real wins. And if you can start seeing value in what you have, in who you are, your life will change. Not because something external shifted, but because you've grown new eyes. Eyes that recognize, eyes that give thanks, eyes that turn every small victory into a reason to smile. Because in the end, the greatest triumph is this: living gratefully. In spite of everything, life is made of choices. Some big, some small. But every single one shapes who we are and what we take from this world. And maybe, out of all possible choices, there's one of the most important and most neglected. Choosing to value what we already have. You've made it this far. You've listened, reflected, maybe even remembered someone who's gone. Maybe right now, your eyes are glistening, thinking of all you still have time to do differently. And you do. There's still time. Life doesn't need to be perfect to be precious. It doesn't need grand events to be meaningful. It needs presence. Attention. Recognition. Because what you live every day, the coffee at the usual time, the conversations with those who've always been there, the small acts of love might seem ordinary, but they're exactly what you'll one day wish you could relive. So don't wait to lose before you value. Don't wait for silence to miss a voice. Don't wait for absence to show love. If you still have your parents, hug them. If you have friends, thank them. If you have a routine, celebrate it. If you have someone by your side, even in silence, cherish them. Because every one of these things, no matter how simple, is a gift. Life owes you nothing, but it offers you opportunities every single day. To love. To forgive. To recognize. To give thanks. And what you do with those opportunities defines the weight of your memories. Do you want to carry regrets or gratitude? The choice is yours. And it starts now. So, before you close this video, I invite you not just to like or share it, but to act. Get up. Pick up the phone. Make that call. Send that message. Give that hug you've been putting off, because later might not come. And if this touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Someone who's forgotten to look at life with grateful eyes, with loving eyes. Subscribe to this channel. Here, every video is a reminder. Life holds more value when lived aware, true, and present. And if you want to keep growing, learning, and transforming, we're here, hearts open, ready to walk with you. Remember, what you have today might be exactly what you'll miss tomorrow. So value it. Now while there's still time.